Hello and welcome to the big picture. The dispute over sharing of Kaveri river water between the two states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu has once again whipped up emotions in both states, leading to 2 deaths in Bangalore, destruction of public property and a lot of bad blood. The monsoon in Karnataka, which started off on a promising note in June, suddenly tapered off, leading to shortage of water in the 4 reservoirs across the Kaveri. This has led to Karnataka not being able to fulfill its obligation of ensuring 94 TMC feet of water between June and August this year as mandated by the Kaveri Tribunal in its final order in 2007. The shortfall is more than 60 TMC feet, with Karnataka releasing 33 TMC feet in these last 3 months. Following Tamil Nadu's appeal before the Supreme Court, Karnataka was first directed to release 15,000 TMC feet of water for 10 days between September 7 and 16, and when it went in appeal after releasing water for 5 days, Supreme Court yesterday asked it to release further 12,000 TMC feet till September 20th. Both these orders have inflamed passions in Karnataka, where protesters wanted Karnataka government not to adhere to Supreme Court directions. In both states, passions have been high, with property and people being attacked. So even as the situation continues to be tense, we will discuss today why has the situation reached this point, why the final award of the tribunal has not been able to find solutions to the dispute, what are the lacunae which continues to cause problems in distress years like this year. To discuss this, I have with me K.N.Bhat, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, Srinivas Chokkakula, Senior Fellow, Center for Policy Research, V.S.ChandraShekar, Executive Editor, PTI, and R.K. Radhakrishnan, Associate Editor, Frontline, on the phone line from Chennai. Welcome to all of you. Mr. Bhat, why do you think that even after 9 years of the final award of the Kaveri Tribunal has been given, that we continue to face these kind of problems between the two states? Mr. Bhat, can you hear me? Okay, I think there's a problem with the connection there. Mr. Srinivas, if you have heard the question which I have asked,
yes,
the same question to you also.
Right. Well, in my opinion, I think there are a couple of issues that we have to resolve. One is that we need to agree, we need to have the states agree on a distress formula, which is primarily the reason why this dispute has escalated this time, is that there hasn't been a distress formula in spite of the fact that the tribunal has recommended that it should be proportionately reduced, but the states haven't agreed. So we need to, that's the first thing, is that we should get the states to agree on a distress formula during a deficit monsoon season. And the second one is that what we have at this moment for interstate coordination between the states, party states, is that a Cauvery Supervisory Committee, which is a temporary arrangement that was in fact insisted upon by the Supreme Court when a similar kind of escalation happened in 2012. In fact, in 2013, Supreme Court insisted on 2 things. One is that it has to be, the award has to be notified, and the second is that they have to they constitute this Cauvery Supervisory Committee. This committee has a fairly limited scope in terms of its operational scope, and what we need as a second step is to look into this possibility of setting this permanent Cauvery Management Board mechanism that the tribunal has recommended. The Supreme Court has to make a decision on it. So if these are the couple of things that we need to basically resolve to even think about any possible better management of this interstate coordination.
Okay.
And avoid this kind of escalation in the
future. Okay. I'll come back to you, Srinivas. Radhakrishnan, the problem has occurred again. Last time we saw the similar problems in 2012, though the violence and what we are witnessing now was not as much as it is this time. The 2012 it was not as much as this time. See, but as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, when there is a distress here, when like this year, the water, there is a shortage of water, the monsoon has not been up to what the expectations were. once this distress is over, everybody goes back to their comfort zone, and these problems which needs to be sorted out doesn't get sorted out. Do you agree with that?
Seen is that there will be this, pro and counter arguments, as if people from Karnataka are not citizens of India but only citizens of Karnataka, and the same with Tamil Nadu. And then there is this arguments over television, over all over the place, and it's like it's like more like Karnataka is giving you water and Tamil Nadu has to get more than what is it seems to be getting. This has been the time, and every single time this happens, you have rains following it, and then the entire issue is forgotten, as you rightly pointed out. But even during distress years, distress seasons, we have seen that the tribunal itself, the final award points that there can be a pro rata sharing of water, depending on water availability, reducing the share from all the states in the basin areas. This is exactly what Tamil Nadu wanted. But then, if you go into the award and read the fine print, it actually goes beyond suggesting this mechanical reduction, and it has actually suggested a very liberal approach. This, wherein the regulatory body comes into the picture right now in this, and they will have to consider the entire basin flows and not just what is in in KRS Dam and in Kaveri and just the 3 dams alone, and including the impact of the northeast monsoon before deciding. And this is exactly what Karnataka wanted. So, the thing is that there is no problem if you actually go by the spirit of the final award. But unfortunately, we are not in a place to go by the final award at all because of the chauvinism and because of the sentiments that have been raised. It is completely unfortunate what happened in Karnataka yesterday. Just because, there is an inkling that somebody is Tamil, there has been an attack on this person. But in Tamil Nadu, I would say that the politicians have been much, much more, circumspect when it comes to inflaming passions. Yes, there have been attempts, but I have to congratulate the government of Tamil Nadu for having kept a tight lid on all those activities. In fact, there is a rail roko plan for the 16th of September. I really hope, these things do not get out of hand.
Okay.
I really think that it will not get out of hand because there have been only 2 minor incidents in Tamil Nadu.
Radhakrishnan, those 2 minor incidents have unfortunately been blown out of proportion by the media,
Exactly.
which has resulted in what we have witnessed in Karnataka also. This unfortunate, the way media has been presenting these things has also been very unfortunate. Anyway, let me get Mr. Bhat in on this. Mr. Bhat, where do you see the problem? Because, as Mr. Radhakrishnan was pointing out earlier, Srinivas was also pointing out, the final award of the Cauvery Water Tribunal talks about distress years, talks about pro rata distribution during these distress years. But do you think that that the tribunal did not really describe how distress should be tackled? Is that where the problem lies?
Well, I don't know. In 2012, the Supreme Court appointed a supervisory committee.
Yes.
Stopping all the old history, I don't want to repeat. And that supervisory committee was supposed to find out the actual position regarding the availability of water and distribution, which met yesterday, and I am told that they would meet again on 19th of this month. But bypassing that one, I am told that Tamil Nadu made an application to the Supreme Court for release of water, and this 15,000 came, for which there is no basis. There is no basis for the 12,000 either. But anyway, the whole matter is once again coming up on 20th of September before the Supreme Court. Probably then most of the matters will be thrashed out. And on 19th of October, the appeals or the SLPs against the tribunal's order are posted for final hearing, where all the questions relating to the validity of the 1892, 1924 agreements and all the connected matters are going to be discussed and finally thrashed out. And that is supposed to be the position. But I still believe as always, that these matters through the judicial process very difficult to solve, because I wish the constitution makers in 200 and Article 262, instead of making it, made all the interstate rivers as the national property, and the government of India would decide where to set up what project and distribute waters accordingly, just as our railways and other things, they are all become national property. But anyway, having not done it, now it is not easy, and having got a particular share, now I don't know whether these matters could be actually settled or not. I'll give you, Girish, one instance.
Yes.
That is much before the tribunal was constituted, 1984. Ramakrishna Hegde was the Chief Minister of Karnataka and MGR was the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Every year, as you know, if the monsoon fails, there will be some water shortage down below. It is not, nobody is telling a falsehood, but then that is real. During that time, Hegde would visit MGR, and MGR would jokingly say that, look, Ramakrishna, koncha tanni vidaya. So he will come back and ask his engineers to find out how much can be left, and it will be quietly left. And it was going on like that until the politicians, the subsequent politicians intervened and formed for this tribunal. Tribunal and partition suits in a family, etc. They are all not leading to peace, but leading to conflict. That is where it is, and I don't see any immediate, whoever wins in the battle ultimately.
I don't think
the
we can look at this,
and bitterness will continue. I don't know how to solve it.
Okay, I don't think we can see this as a victory or a defeat for anybody. Unfortunately, that is how it is being projected in the media, in some parts of the media at least.
It should not be.
It's unfortunate. I'll come back to you, sir. Let me get Chandrashekar. Chandrashekar, this supervisory committee which Mr. Bhat was talking about and which was supposed to have been formed, when that supervisory committee was there, and when that supervisory committee was supposed to look into this issue, why do you think that the Tamil Nadu government decided to go to the Supreme Court instead of approaching this supervisory committee, which is actually supposed to have dealt with this issue?
Girish, before I get into that point about Cauvery Supervisory Committee, I entirely agree with Mr. Bhat about how politically the problem should be resolved and not through tribunals or courts. Courts and tribunals are good. Yes, constitutional scheme of things, they have been provided. Yes, when governments are reasonable, such solutions will work. But even when Tamil Nadu, fought for the tribunal and the award was given, after which there was even an agreement between the two governments of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, between J.H. Patel and Karunanidhi, people thought that the problem is solved, but it doesn't work like that. I think sagacity should prevail over the political leadership in both the states and also at the center, how best to bring out a bilateral or a trilateral consensus solution that will work for longer period than this piecemeal approach of tribunals and courts. I am not undermining the role of the judiciary. In fact, judiciary plays a big role, because when an affected state has nowhere to go, it has only judiciary to go, and judiciary tries to solve the problem with whatever means it has. But then, unless you have politicians on the ground in a position to control mobs and also passions, tribunals and judicial verdicts do not find acceptance. That's the problem. And so I think the question of political will and political resolution comes uppermost. Now, coming next to the Cauvery Supervisory Authority, I find yesterday it was purely a meeting of officials who just look at how much water has crossed Biligundlu on what day, and they go into measurements and tell the court that this is what has been given. So it's all physical data. I don't think the supervisory committee has any other political role. It's only just a technical committee in aid and assistance of the courts and tribunals. I think you should go beyond this. There
Okay.
should be a Kaveri management authority, which has been
that was
talked
what
about, where the
Cauvery
political
management board was what?
heads of the government and political masters will come and they
Right.
should settle it out. As Mr. Bhatt referred to Hegde MGR formula, there used to be a time when Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and even Kerala, they used to enter into a limited contract during distress years, like sharing of water, and in return for that they will give, one state will give power, the other state will give cement. Barter system worked. I think you have to go back to the olden system than going into this technical resolution.
Okay, Mr. Srinivas, you know this Cauvery Management Board, which was supposed to have been, it is 9 years since the tribunal has given its award. There's nobody seems to have taken it up seriously to form this board. There was one meeting during the UPA's time in 2012 when Prime Minister called the Chief Ministers, and then that was it. And what is the supervisory committee's role? As Chandrasekhar was pointing out, is it just data collection body? Does it have any authority? And and you think that it could have done the job of what the court is doing now? And one more very important thing: after the final award of the tribunal, why is it that the courts keep on interfering in this matter? Can't the courts keep away from this matter?
Well, that's quite a large terrain to cover. First thing is the Kaveri Management Board itself is a kind of some states did not agree with the idea of Kaveri Management Board, and that is something that needs to be resolved by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has to make a decision about whether that kind of institutional mechanism that was recommended by the Kaveri Tribunal could be set up. Now, those are some legal ambiguities which only Supreme Court has to resolve. So we still have to have a decision, and then if we have the Kaveri Management Board and also its supporting mechanism, which is called Kaveri Monitoring Committee, which supports this Kaveri management. Hopefully, maybe there may be better ways of coordinating between the states. What I would think is that, you see, at this moment, in fact, if you look at the Kaveri Supervisory Committee, that itself in the notified award, it is said that it is actually a temporary arrangement till the Supreme Court decides on the Kaveri Management Board. And Kaveri Supervisory Committee can do it. In fact, if I understand right, after the 2012 escalation of the dispute, they did do a few meetings or a few conferences between these party states as a preemptive action if there is any possible distress in the future. I'm not sure if that kind of exercise has been done this time. And if it has been done, maybe the supervisory committee could not effectively impose those decisions. But in fact, the award that was notified in 2013 actually allows the states to approach the Supreme Court for relief if the Kaveri Supervisory Committee cannot provide them. So it is that kind of due legal process that it is going on at the moment.
In fact,
the question is right whether the Supreme Court should be doing what it is doing. In terms of, executive, it has taken up executive role.
No, Mr. Srinivas.
Sure.
Mr. Srinivas, the question is that last week, September 2nd, when the Supreme Court ordered that Karnataka should release about September 6th, I think 6:15, when it ordered 15,000 cusecs to be released per day for next 10 days. Karnataka released 56 for 6 days, then it comes back to the court and says that we are facing distress, we will not be able to provide it, please do something. Then what is done is that 12,000 cusecs, the Supreme Court orders that you release 12,000 cusecs till 20th. So effectively what it has done is it has asked Karnataka to release 48,000 TMC more than what it had originally asked for. So why is this kind of a confusion there even at the Supreme Court level? I would like Mr. Bhatt also to respond to this after.
I'm not so sure.
Yes, Mr. Srinivas.
I'm not so sure there is a confusion. It is actually
I'll come to you, Mr. Bhat. Mr. Bhat, wait.
Says that the Supreme Court, the award actually gives you monthly releases.
Yes, I know.
With 10-day interval monitoring mechanisms.
Right.
So as per that formula that was given by the award about the monthly releases, the Supreme Court must be following that schedule to ask these kind of, the releases. In fact, it is a kind of negotiated settlement that from 15,000 cusecs to 12,000 cusecs. It's upon the appeal from the Karnataka state that the Supreme Court has agreed to reduce the amount of water
But it
that
has
needs
extended
to be
the
released.
number of days.
But it is very difficult to say whether it is actually. Yeah, for till 20th of September.
Right.
That's you see
I
the
think
first
it is
5
not
days for the first 5-6 days.
I'll
It was
come to you,
supposed to be
Chandru.
15,000 cusecs, and I think it is on. It is after that the Supreme Court has, after hearing the appeal from the Karnataka state, saying that it's actually there is no agony on the Tamil Nadu state, and also saying that we don't have adequate resources to release. They have agreed, saying that okay, now you release 12,000 cusecs from now on till 20th, till we hear the next time. So I think there is a kind of due process that is going on there. But in terms of Supreme Court's role, that was in fact is prescribed. It was actually clearly articulated as a mechanism till these final decisions are made about the distress formula, as well as even the Kaveri Management Board kind of institutional mechanism.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Bhat. Mr. Bhat, why this confusion about it? And this has actually led to some kind of a lot of tension in Karnataka.
You see, this is pure ad hocism, with the great respect to the Supreme Court, because there is no basis for 12,000, there is no basis for 15,000. It so happened, it seems, I was not in the court, but I was told that instead of taking a technical objection that you better go to the supervisory committee and then come here and don't take up this application, I believe Mr. Nariman on behalf of the state of Karnataka said that, look, okay, I will release 10,000 and that may be recorded and I am ready to do that one. And from there the Supreme Court said, why not 15,000? And from 15,000 it came to 12,000, because none of these things, because the whole problem is that Supreme Court doesn't have actually the basis as of today to order either 10,000, 5,000 or 15,000. That is not the position. The supervisory committee is there because they can actually find out how the measurement. Now, according to some reports which I have seen, Mettur, I believe, is almost full to the brim. And now more water released, I don't know what is going to be done, because this is what it is said. Because these are all matters which what I say or you say is not the one, but supervisory committee should go and find out whether there is actually a need. It is a need-based one, and if you give up today, you don't give up your right forever. If today it is not needed, don't need it, because the position, I am told again according to the report, because of the scanty rainfall in the catchment area, the Krishnaraj Sagar dam is almost coming, it is a very, very low level of water reservoir, and in Coorg area the rain season is almost over for the rain to come, and they get only the southwest monsoon rains from June to August, or maximum up to a little bit of September. That period is over, and now there is no hope of getting more rains in the immediate future. And the Tamil Nadu monsoon, for example, starts from October, and that part of that rainfall, as far as in Karnataka is concerned, very limited.
Okay.
So it is actually the management of the scanty resources, and for this purpose, in 2012, the Supreme Court conceived of this supervisory committee, at least to report, come and say that this is the factual position.
Okay.
So now, one of the things which Karnataka is supposed to have told is that please wait until the supervisory committee comes and tells where does it stand now.
Okay, Radhakrishnan.
So that
Radhakrishnan.
I really.
Sir, okay, sir. Radhakrishnan,
one thing that Mr. Bhat spoke, which is not factual, which is that Mettur is up to the brim. This is not a fact. Let us not deal in things like this. At the same
No,
time,
no.
I want to also record here
Radhakrishnan,
that
Radhakrishnan,
yeah.
1 second.
Yeah.
Radhakrishnan,
Yeah.
1 second. I have a question. Radhakrishnan, don't you think that both the states would have been in a better position to argue their own cases if a committee had visited both the states, come out with what the actual ground situation is? Now the problem is that there is so much distrust between both the states that one state is claiming that while that Karnataka claims that Tamil Nadu has enough water, Tamil Nadu says that we don't have enough water, Karnataka has enough water. Why are the two states not agreeing to allow some kind of a ground level inspection and an assessment?
Yeah, I agree with you completely on that. Yes, I think a one-day inspection by the Ministry of Water Resources or some independent agency from Delhi would be more than welcome to both the places. But let us also see that Karnataka has had a traditional grievance because Karnataka contributes 462 TMCFT into the Kaveri basin and it is allowed to use only 270 TMCFT. Tamil Nadu, which contributes 227 TMCFT, gets to use 419. So this has been the basis of the problem from day one, even after the award of the tribunal. Now, you did ask about the Supreme Court's role. Now, Supreme Court has passed various, judgments over the years, and lot of these judgments, both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu have flouted in implementation of these judgments, and Supreme Court has not really taken action. If at any of these instances, including the instance of yesterday, if the Supreme Court had held the Chief Secretary and the Chief Minister responsible, I am very sure that we would not have come to a pass. One life would not have been laid to waste yesterday, and 1.7 million casual laborers would not have been going without food for a week. Now,
Okay.
that is the tough
I
point
think-
that
I think you have
want
made
to
a-
make, that the Supreme Court has to come down and make sure that its orders are implemented. If it follows the same lethargy that is exhibited in every other field, from the demolition of Babri Masjid to now, there is
Okay.
no hope for Kaveri
Okay.
river water dispute
Okay, Chandru.
resolution issue at all. There is no point in going to the Supreme Court again.
Okay, Chandrasekhar, very quick last words to you. As far as the media's role is concerned,
see, this is, see, as far as media's role is also concerned, yesterday, I find that television, I think, was extraordinarily, projecting on a certain violence that actually egged on violence. See, media has a role; it has to report violence, but the way it projects violence actually instigates protesters to do more violence, and then I think I don't know where we are heading to. See, in a crude way, I will say that yesterday at least the violence has ended within a day, and more particularly the violence was on buses and vehicles. So we are grateful that
we've not lost human
physically
lives.
people were not harmed.
Not
except
many human lives.
One
We have lost two
case
already.
of death in police firing.
Okay.
I am in fact in a way relieved that the violence was limited to property. We have seen earlier in mid-90s
Okay.
how
Okay,
people were
Chandrasekhar.
targeted.
Okay, Chandrasekhar, we have completely run out of time. Sorry, Mr. Bhat, we completely run out of time. We hope that some sense will prevail as far as what the violence which we have witnessed in both the states. But as far as the governments of both the states are concerned, we hope sense will prevail and they will come to some kind of a agreement very soon. Thanks to all my guests. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue in the big picture same time tomorrow.